Hi, everyone. This is Kendall Bartsch. I am the CEO and co-founder of Third Iron, and we're very pleased to be a sponsor this year of the Wisconsin Academic Association of Libraries. Thanks for joining this virtual presentation. I'm going to talk a bit about the new service that we released this year called LibKey Nomad++. LibKey Nomad++ is an enhancement to our core LibKey Nomad product. And if you're familiar with Third Iron, you know that we've developed the LibKey technology over the last number of years, which allows libraries to provide better access to their information. So LibKey is a technology that provides fast, reliable, and informed linking or access to information. And the Nomad is the browser extension that uses that technology. So for end users that are out there searching the open web, they can use LibKey Nomad to access the material that's available from their library. In the few years that it has been available, LibKey Nomad has proved to be very popular. We're supporting all kind of major browsers out there. And today, over 2.5 million users have installed it on their machines in order to access material from their library that they find out there on the open web. So if you're familiar with kind of how browser extensions work or LibKey Nomad operates, for end users that are out there, again, using the open web as the place that they're looking for information, it's very common to come across a website, for example, like this one, that has the article that you might be interested in, but because you haven't authenticated or started from the library or whatnot, instead of getting access to the article, you're going to hit the paywall. With LibKey Nomad, one of the features is we very clearly signpost or indicate availability of the article. So in this case, even though I haven't logged in or done anything other than just simply use the LibKey Nomad browser extension, we're indicating that access to this PDF is available from my library. And then if I click on that, we're going to bring the end user directly to the PDF of that particular article. So LibKey Nomad really drives awareness of content availability, as well as facilitating fast access to that content. And LibKey Nomad is a service that end users find useful really anywhere they're looking for scholarly or academic information. So whether I'm going to Google or PubMed or a site here like Wikipedia, where in the cited references, again, LibKey Nomad is indicating or signposting availability of content. And if I click on one of those download PDF buttons, LibKey Nomad is going to intelligently bring me to the PDF of that article. However, I might have access to it from my library, whether that comes from the open access version of record from the publisher or from a subscription source from a publisher or from an aggregated site. LibKey Nomad can process all the different ways where access might be available and always bring me to the best place for that access. At the start of this year, we added additional enhancements to LibKey Nomad, what we call the plus editions, which allows libraries to do things other than simply connect people to the full text resources from their library. So there are really kind of four components that I'll review briefly here in this presentation about what those additional features are. The first is libraries can add intelligent messaging and custom links to domains or URLs that can be defined in an administrative module. So if you want to have users see certain messages when they arrive at certain websites, that can all be created within LibKey Nomad and displayed for the end user. If you're using a chat service like LibChat from SpringShare or Library Help, you can integrate that chat service to have the chat functionality, again, appear at the websites that end users are visiting, not just simply the library webpage. We've also integrated with very popular bibliographic management services out there, RefWorks, EndNote, other ones as well, to allow end users to have the ability to take advantage of their favorite service even if an export to that service is not supported on the website that they're visiting. And then finally, to allow libraries to have a better control over the customization and branding in terms of how LibKey appears within the interface for end users. So really quickly, we can just look at some examples here. The first, very popular for our libraries, is again, we can add messaging and links to different websites that end users might visit. So for example, if I'm interested in reading the New York Times, I might simply go to nytimes.com, not knowing that my library actually provides access to this content from another source like maybe ProQuest. So here I can add a message, as you see at the bottom of the screenshot here, that says, hey, we have access to the New York Times from another site. And then there's a button that says Access New York Times. Again, all of this can be customized, so I can change that message or customize it in whatever way that would be suitable for my library. And then in that button there, I can actually include the URL where we would want to otherwise direct end users to get access to that content. Maybe it's a login to ProQuest, or if there's a permanent link or something like that, you can add that there in that button. But you can see right away how useful this is for an end user. Well, hey, I just want to read the New York Times. I'm unaware of the fact that it comes from ProQuest or Factiva or whatnot, and I can link the end user directly to that content via the plus plus feature in domain messaging. Similarly, we know that end users will go directly to sites like Scopus, for example, maybe unaware of the fact that their library subscribes to it, or they don't really know how to log in. You can create what we call an auth loop or an authentication loop, where we have an action button there that prompts the end user to log into Scopus. So we direct them to whatever login screen the end user needs to do in order to be authenticated to get access to Scopus and proceed from there. So we can help end users navigate maybe different authentication challenges that they might face when they're out there, again, just going directly to sites like Scopus, rather than clicking on the Scopus link in the A to Z database list. Or there's just other kind of customized links that you can put in different websites as well. If you're trialing a resource and you want an end user to give you feedback on that, for example, you can put a message there, as we see in the screenshot here, then maybe direct them to an online survey that you have where you're trying to gain feedback regarding that. So first kind of aspect of LibKey Nomad++ is the domain messaging and customized linking that we can provide for end users. Second, as I mentioned, is chat functionality. So again, if you're using LibChat or Library Help or even WhatsApp, you can integrate those into LibKey Nomad. So in addition to that download PDF button, there's a little chat box that appears there. An end user then can execute via API the interaction with the chat service that you're using there in your library. So again, very useful if you're trying to sort of extend library services. Hey, somebody's sort of lost on the internet and they need some help from the library with the LibKey Nomad++ functionality. Again, that chat can be initiated really anywhere the end user is navigating out on the open web. Also, as I mentioned, it's very similar to kind of what we see with the chat integration is the bibliographic management integration, where there's a little Scholar cap that appears there in line with the download PDF button, where if the end user clicks on that, they can select their favorite bibliographic management service and have the citations from whatever page that they're looking at be exported out to that particular service. And then finally, we have what's called the Design Studio, which allows libraries to customize the color of the button that appears, change the text in it. And if you have an icon that you want to use beyond the standard kind of green flame that's native to LibKey Nomad, maybe an icon for your library or a university crest or something like that, you can customize all of that if you're really looking to have kind of brand consistency across the different services that you're using there in the library. So that's a really quick overview of LibKey Nomad++. Again, as I mentioned, it builds upon the kind of core LibKey Nomad technology that we have. Very popular for libraries. Dozens and dozens here have signed up since the start of the year, and really great feedback. So if you're interested in kind of extending library services to end users wherever they might navigate out there in the open web, and this looks interesting, just give us an email at info@thirdiron.com. More than happy to share more information about how libraries are using LibKey Nomad++, and you can even set up and request your trial access. So thanks very much for listening. Hope everybody has a great conference. Thank you.